Mark Rogers TV back with you on the best players in college football. We've run through all the glamour boys, the quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. Now we get down and dirty in the trenches with the offensive linemen. Most appropriately, we go to the top of college football, to the top of our list as well, with left tackle from Florida State, Cameron Erving. Of course, we know what the Noles did on offense last season in winning 14 consecutive games. Keep in mind that this guy on the left side protected Jameis Winston. He also was the road grader in the running game for three NFL-type running backs in Freeman, Wilder, and Williams. This guy was a defensive lineman. Get this, a defensive lineman in 2013. So he only has one starting season under his belt, and he's already one of the best. He was all ACC first team last season and also graded out as the best offensive lineman in the ACC last season in Florida State. We expect him to get much better, and he's already number one on our list. Keep in mind, the footwork is exceptional. He's quick, and he's worked on the footwork and pass protection in particular. Needs to work on the technique up top, above the waist as well. Cameron Erving at number one out of Florida State. The number two guy is probably the most talented player on this list, Cedric Ogbuehi out of Texas A&M. And the Aggies have something going along the offensive front, and this is how it works. The trend goes, you play at guard, then you move to right tackle, then to left tackle, and then to the NFL draft is most likely a top 10 pick. It worked for Luke Joeckel, and then also, of course, Jake Matthews last season, and now Cedric O seems to be in line. The NFL Draft Advisory Board said, big guy, you can come out this season in 2014, and you will be a first-round pick. He's sticking around for 2014, and we expect Cedric O to be a top 10 pick. He's got elite speed. Listen to this speed out of a 330-pounder. Now, this is unofficial, but teammates and coaches say that Cedric O runs a 4.740. A 4.740. Cedric O at left tackle for Texas A&M at number two. All right, we go to the Big Ten lone representative in Brandon Scherff at Iowa. Get this statistic. Over the last 10 years, Iowa has produced more quality offensive linemen, meaning top 100 graded offensive linemen in college football moving on to the NFL than anyone except Giants, Alabama, and USC. Yes, we know Kirk Ferentz has a pedigree of producing great offensive linemen. He's got one in the making. Let's not call him great right now. The technique is not exceptional. This guy gets by right now on smarts and dedication and hustle. He won the Iowa Hawkeyes 2013 Mr. Hustle Award. And again, the technique is marginal or a little bit better than that, but not what you would expect out of an elite player at this position. But Brandon Scherff at number three on this list, all Big Ten, second team All-America last season, and Iowa expect the Hawkeyes to have one of the best ground games in college football this fall. All right, at number four, we go to the SEC again with Laremy Tunsil out of Ole Miss. Only one of two left tackles to start as freshman last season, the other at Virginia Tech. Laremy Tunsil, though, really shone from day one. His first starting assignment was against Jackson Jeffcoat, a five-star recruit out of Texas who had a very fine season in Austin and had an excellent career in Austin, Texas, and Jackson Jeffcoat's in an NFL camp right now. So that's Laremy Tunsil's first try at college football against a great player. And what did he do? He performed. He didn't let Jackson Jeffcoat anywhere near Bo Wallace, and then his progress continued throughout the season. He won SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week when Ole Miss took out Arkansas. You may say, big deal. The Hogs were horrible at 3-9, but they had two of the best defensive ends in college football in Chris Smith and Trey Flowers, and Laremy Tunsil was a man. Second team All-SEC, first team freshman All-America, of course, in his first year at Ole Miss. Laremy Tunsil will make his way up this list, I'm sure, by next season. All right, number five, we've got a player who doesn't compete at quite the level of these other guys. We got Cincinnati's Eric Lefeld. He plays left tackle for the Bearcats. For the last two seasons, he's been unanimous all-conference. First in the Big East in 2012, and then the All-America Conference for Lefeld. He is a technician, maybe not the great elite talent of some of these other guys, but Lefeld is an exceptional college football player. Keep in mind, these are not NFL draft projections. These are the best offensive linemen in college football this fall. Eric Lefeld, again, unanimous all-conference the past 2 years with Cincinnati winning 10 football games this past season. The Bearcats, very good. This is one of the reasons why. Eric Lefeld at number 5. And much like Cameron Erving, our number 1 guy, Lefeld played defense when he went to Cincinnati initially. As recently as 2011, Lefeld playing defensive front, 7 starts, 7 tackles for loss. Switches to offensive line. Now he's a star. All right, now we go to number 6. And finally out to the Pac-12, and Hironus Grazu, the center out of Oregon, a 3-year starter with a motor that does not quit. And that's what that Ducks offense requires of its offensive line. As you well know, they get out on the edge, so the offensive linemen have to be a bit undersized and quick as lightning for bigger guys. Hironus Grazu gets out to the outside. He makes his way to the second level. He finds guys. In that kind of space, offensive linemen in this type of offense, especially with the speed around him, have to get out there and find blockers. They have to go find would-be tacklers, I should say, and knock them off the ball and pave even more space for that elite speed on the outside. Hironus Grazu, all Pac-12 first team in 2013 at number 6. All right, at number 7, we go back to Florida State and Trey Jackson, who plays guard for Florida State. Trey Jackson actually graded out higher than Cameron Erving during the first half of 2013. And then Cameron Erving gets the nod for us since he plays left tackle over the guard position for Trey Jackson. We know that left tackle is the elite position along the offensive front. Things have changed somewhat in college football with not so many pocket passers in the game these days, but left tackle still gets the nod. Trey Jackson playing guard for an elite Florida State offense. Think about all the speed and talent all time at Florida State, and this was the best, most prolific, most efficient offense in Seminoles history. 52 points per game, 7,300 yards in 14 games, and Trey Jackson was one of the big reasons why. First team All-ACC, 6'7", 330. All right, at number 8, we stay in the ACC, so the ACC producing some offensive line starters here. Shaq Mason out of Georgia Tech. Shaq Mason is an elite blocker. And keep in mind that Georgia Tech, despite being one-dimensional, was top 10 in the country in rushing, of course. Also, sacks allowed and red zone efficiency. That one I had to take a double take on. Red zone efficiency. Now, considering the lack of a passing game, this guy is one of the reasons why. Defenses stack the box, but Shaq Mason still makes the running game go at Georgia Tech. Shaq Mason was ACC Offensive Lineman of the Week twice in 2013. All right, down the list. Wow, we stay in the ACC with Matt Patchen of Boston College. Patchen, like Lefeld, maybe not a great talent, superior talent like some of these other guys, but an exceptional technician, a guy that will fight you in a phone booth. He knows what he's doing. Road grader, Boston College. We know what happened. Andre Williams ran for a zillion yards, 200, 250, 330 against NC State down the stretch in 2013. So this guy almost won Andre Williams the Heisman. Matt Patchen coming back for his senior season at Boston College. Again, not a great athlete, but he will play for a long time in the NFL, barring injury. He is a technician, smart football player, tough beyond belief. And at number 10, appropriately, we tie with 2 Louisville starters, Jamon Brown and also Jake Smith. Brown at left tackle, Smith is the center. Of course, they played in front of Teddy Bridgewater in 2013. They're coming back both as first-team all-conference in the All-America Conference. Going to be a bit more difficult for Smith and Brown to get that type of status in the ACC, but we'll see how it goes for Louisville and Smith and Brown as we've got a tie at number 10. So again, Erving of Florida State at left tackle at number 1. Cedric O out of Texas A&M, number 2. Number 3 is Brandon Scherf, the lone representative out of the Big Ten. Keep in mind, Ohio State lost 4 of its 5 offensive linemen, and Taylor Lewan, one of the best in the nation out of Michigan, going to the NFL draft as well. Number 4, Laremy Tunsil out of Ole Miss. Number 5, Eric Lefeld out of Cincinnati. 6 is Hironus Grazu, Oregon center. Number 7, Trey Jackson out of Florida State as well at guard. Number 8, Shaq Mason, Georgia Tech. Number 9, Matt Patchen, another ACC contributor out of Boston College. We've got a tie for the 10 spot at Jamon Brown and also Jake Smith out of Louisville. That's our top 10 offensive linemen coming into 2014. Now we invite you to chime in. Give us your offensive linemen. Where did we miss it? Who should be on this list? Right here on Mark Rogers TV.